Hello, everyone. What is this? We're here on a Monday. What is going on? I don't know anymore. Uh, but I am very excited for this. It is chapter 1 of our 3-part charity stream benefiting the Trevor Project. If you don't know anything about the Trevor Project, it is a nonprofit dedicated to eliminating suicide among LGBTQ plus young people. They run crisis lines 24/7, 365 days a year, and also provide safe online spaces for youth to be able to connect with each other and find common ground. If you are stopping in for the first time, we implore you to come join us during our regular games. We have streams on Sunday, but if you're watching the VOD after the fact or on YouTube, you can join us at 7 p.m. Eastern on Sundays and follow us on Twitch to see what else we might be doing like this, where it's just other fun things, whether it's for a good cause like fundraising or just because we're in the mood. Let's see. We're also doing a giveaway tonight. Jenna, if you would like to go over that for me. You are muted. Technical difficulties all the way out here in space. It happens.
All right, so tonight we are giving away a space-themed D20. There are pictures on our Instagram, Twitter, whatever. And to enter, you will do hashtag space gaze in the comments section after I open the giveaway, which will happen in just a minute.
Not open yet. I had something else I wanted to say and completely forgot about it, so that's fine.
It'll be fine.
I'm not used to doing it like this. A little bit of background on the game we're playing. We are playing Tartarus Gate, which is a pre-written adventure created by names Grant Howitt and Chris Taylor. It is a sort of like standalone thing, so if you find that you're interested in it and want to pick it up for yourself, you can follow that link to get your own copy. Because it does have some flexibility, there is some replay value if you want to do things differently or are concerned that, after seeing how we go through things, you might not be able to bring it to your own group, but there's some flexibility there. Let me throw in here too as well the link to the donations. We do have some incentives, so if you want to affect the show, you can donate a certain amount, redeem those things. Some of them have questions that you have to pick out and just let us know what you want there. Jenna has said that if you donate $1,000, you can determine how her character dies. So
yes,
that we don't have an incentive tier for that, but just know that is an option.
It is an option. If you donate $1,000, you can say how my character dies.
Okay. Because this is a sci-fi horror game, there are some themes that included in the game that you might not be comfortable with, which include civilian attacks during war, sentient AI, body horror, a demonic possession, and the concept of eternal damnation. Of course, if there's ever a time where you are not comfortable with those things, take care of yourself, step away, do whatever you need to do, and then we'll be here when you come back, or if this game itself is not, up to your levels of taste, then we have fun 1950s superheroes on Sundays, where it's a tad bit more lighthearted. I will say,
twins on Sundays.
Kyle, the body horror is not super duper extensive. A lot of it has to do with cybertronics and technology and stuff. So the actual descriptions will probably be on the lighter side, but Of course, if that's not to your taste, then, do what you need. Okay. As far as the structure of this game, it is divided into 3 chapters, but because the gameplay is essentially ongoing, all of you lovely interns won't necessarily get the chance to regain health between things, so if you find there's an opportunity for extended rest, you might want to take it. And of course, depending on audience donations, you might regain some health by them in the process, or they might decide to just make your lives harder. So keep that in mind.
Consequences.
Yes.
Consequences.
Another element of this game, as I sort of mentioned, is augmented reality, but which all of your characters know about, they're aware of. You might not necessarily, and you have all of the necessary implants to view augmented reality. Removing those implants would require extensive surgery that you wouldn't be able to do on board the spacecraft if you're ever like, hey, what if we got rid of this thing? Not really an option, but to keep the things you see from overwhelming you, it is very obvious when you are experiencing AR. So there's never going to be an opportunity where your characters are going to be tricked by that element of the game. Before I dive in and give a little more context and background to the story, let's go around and have everyone introduce themselves. Tell us what protagonist you're playing, basically their class, any sort of physical description you want to give, and their name and pronouns. So let's start with Michelle.
I am playing Lisi, known as Cha-Cha. She is the veteran of the group. She spent some time in war and in the military and has had some horrible experiences. And she decided to leave reality and go to space to get away from that. Her pronouns are she, they. And at this point, she is looking for anything to make her day brighter.
Okay. Jenna, why don't you go next?
Hey everyone, I'm Jenna, and I will be playing Alina. Alina has like a beautiful mocha skin. Her hair is up in a ponytail, but ultimately the natural texture. Brown eyes. She's not super like decked out in anything like fancy like makeup or fancy clothes. Obviously we're in space, so we're probably wearing space boots, and
you
space underwear, if that's a thing.
Designated mobile corporation uniforms.
So. Yeah. And she goes by she, her pronouns, so do I. And yeah, so she is a graphic designer that applied for a job and apparently didn't read the description very carefully because now she's in space and nothing is okay. Why do you need a graphic designer in space? Nobody knows.
Everything is wrong and I hate it.
Yes. This is a horrible mistake.
Let's swing down to Tess.
Hi, I'm Tess. I'm playing Catastrophe, or Cat, the influencer. She's in space because she may or may not have faked her own streaming feeds to the point that her audience is very upset with her. So she's taking a highly advised break from all kinds of social media and such. And her parents kind of pushed her into the internship. So she's a little not comfortable in this whole situation. She actually has to work here, which is not what she wanted. She's not living off of her abilities as an influencer. She's very much your kind of peppy, relying on her looks kind of girl. She does have some interesting augmentations that her eyes are a little like cybernetic and stuff because she had to augment her feeds so she like her viewers could participate in what she was experiencing and stuff. So
Okay, I've been pronouncing the full name wrong this whole time because I know she was like, you were like, she's gonna go by cat. So I was thinking, oh, it's catastrophe. A catastrophe of
fine.
cats.
What's the pronunciation again that you're going?
catastrophe.
Catastrophe. Okay. Thank you.
And Bree, finish us out.
I'm Brianna. I'm going to be playing Mark Graves. He uses he, him pronouns. I use
Mark?
she, her pronouns.
What was that?
Zach. I keep saying Mark. I don't know why. Expect me to get this wrong several more times.
We'll just blame it on the deep sleep, the cryostasis.
I'm playing
memory
Zach
scrambling.
Graves.
It's the space brain.
It is the space brain. And he was a detective enforcer sort of person who brought in somebody influential but corrupt and got burned for it. So now we're in space.
All right. Okay. So, little bit of background on the setting. It's the year 2130. You are all unpaid interns aboard the transport ship Charon, entrusted with shepherding cargo from Earth to the Tartarus Gate way station. You don't especially like your job for obvious reasons, but it beats working in the data mines or on the front lines of the distributor wars. You spend most of your time in suspended animation and are occasionally awoken by the ship's AI to solve problems, replacing fuses, mopping up spills, unplugging and plugging things back in again. You know, the usual. You're earning employment credits rather than money because who uses money anymore? And if you get enough, you'll be given a job on Tartarus Gate. Things could be worse. It could be a lot worse. See how worse they get. So it is the future. Humans have colonized space, and corporations have colonized humanity, up to and including waging war with each other. Earth is mostly a wasteland at this point. Tartarus Gate is an entirely new station on the fringes of known space run by the Obel Corporation. The station will provide its many inhabitants with a fresh start, something that each of you is basically looking for. An internship on the starship Charon will hopefully get you there. And as interns, you all got a lovely welcome letter in your orientation packet that says, "Welcome aboard Charon. It's an Epsilon-class long-haul cargo ship owned and operated by the Obel Corporation. We're transporting valuable cargo to the Tartarus Gate way station. We're traveling through deep space, which means that more often than not, the nearest colony will be at least 6 months' travel away from you. Don't worry, though. We've brought enough supplies to last you the whole journey. During your stay aboard Charon, you'll spend most of your time in deep sleep. However, if we have any problems that require a human touch, we'll rouse you from your slumber and you'll be able to get straight to work on solving them after a 40-minute reanimation acclimatization process. The map overleaf, which you would all easily have access to, provides a complete guide to the areas where you'll be operating. In unusual circumstances, 2 or 3 of your group might work together to tackle a particularly tricky problem. Many hands make light work. If you have any queries, you can talk to Assisty, the ship's virtual assistant, by saying, "Hello, Assisty," aloud. They're happy to answer any questions you have. If you can't learn what you need to know by chatting with Assisty, you can arrange a remote meeting with me in the meeting room. While you're awake, why not relax in the break room? A variety of snacks and drinks are available from the kitchenette, and our state-of-the-art augmented reality basketball court comes complete with galaxy-famous virtual teams to try your luck against. Once the problem is rectified, it's time to go back into deep sleep. Don't worry, we won't wake you up very often. That's why there are 6 of you, so you can take turns. We hope you have an enjoyable experience during the estimated 3-year travel time of the project. Signed, Navari, Intern Liaison, Obel Corporation, Earth Orbit." So, let's go ahead and dive in. Each of you maybe sleeping peacefully, maybe a little restlessly, maybe dreamlessly, considering you're in cryostasis, essentially, are slowly roused inside your sleeping pods. You are familiar with this sensation since it's something that you've had to do before. Some of you might feel a little nauseous by being woken up, since it's a strange aspect after being asleep for so long, having so many chemicals and fluids pumped into you while you sleep to keep you alive, you know how it goes. But you find yourself in a bit of a coffin-shaped sleeping pod that has a blue cover, and you can see around you there are 5 other deep sleep pods, within this room, all of them having a single employee in them. At the far end of the room, you can see that there are showers and toilets in cubicles, and all but 2 of the employees are awoken. So there's a bit of a soft hiss as air is released, and the cover of your sleeping pod is awoken. There's a little bit of a sizzle as the fuzzy blue form of a Sisti appears in all of your visions and flutters about and says, "Hello, interns. Wake up, wake up. We have a bit of an issue that Navari would like you to look into, so if you wouldn't mind proceeding to the break room, we can go through your reanimation protocols." And then they will flutter out of your vision, and you can have a moment to stretch, unhook yourselves, and get moving.
I'm gonna stand up and pull myself out of the coffin and look around to see who's around, who else is rising.
I think you probably all had, before the expedition began, had an initial orientation meeting where you were introduced to each other. So even if you haven't frequently worked with each other in taking care of the maintenance on the ship, you do know of each other.
I feel like Kat has a moment where she debates rolling over and trying to go back to sleep and ignoring this. But she does start sitting up and getting ready to clamber out of her coffin-esque pod.
Deep sleep pod, we can just call it that.
The coffin.
It's a coffin now. It's a coffin.
It's
Described as a coffin.
We're not the ones who called it coffin, Charlie.
This is where all your dreams came to die.
Pretty much.
Basically.
I mean, we're on a ship called the Charon,
Yeah.
headed to Tartarus for a corporation called Obel.
Sounds like my nightmare. Anyways, Alina just lays there and like contemplates her life decisions up till now for at least 3 minutes. Like, it's an unusually long time. She's just staring at the space ceiling or whatever.
Graves gets up and looks around, kind of wondering what's gone wrong. Starts heading to the break room.
Okay.
I'm gonna look. Fuck. All right, and I follow, but very trudgingly. Like, I am stomping my butt there.
Yeah, once Alina stops pondering her life decisions and how she got here with these people, she'll like slink out of the coffin and the space coffin and join her crewmates.
Yeah, Cat'll shuffle towards the break room, kind of trying to shrug off the probably stiffness of being in cryo sleep for however long.
Stiffness and the lingering nausea and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, all kinds of fun stuff.
It's like getting off an airplane.
Mm-hmm.
But you can all make your way into this break room, and it is, you've seen it before, but it is an uncomfortable, weird smelling hall. You can see at one end of the room, there are a few tables and chairs and a quote unquote kitchenette, which contains a sink and a broken hot plate. You know from previous experience that some of the kitchen cupboards do contain some refreshments and snacks, which are more for enjoyment rather than actual nourishment, since most of your nutrition comes through the IV drip that you get when you're in cryosleep. And hanging from the roof in the center of the room is the recreational emitter, which broadcasts AR to the entire room. And this allows you to play, you know, your lovely virtual basketball, which, granted, is a bit glitchy and the upgrades are overpowered, but it's something to pass the time. Or you could enjoy some AR dramas from the ship's entertainment servers, and also use it to fulfill your mandatory health and safety training with a series of uninformative but interactive educational exercises. So now that you've all entered this room, Assistee flutters over in all of their wonderful blue static again and says, "All right, attention interns. First, we're going to go through your muscle assessment. Please follow along with this demonstration and perform the necessary stretches and exercises." And there's this other little 3D virtual person that is, it's very much like if you ever did like the Wii Fit stuff, just very robotic and awkward and like stiff, just weird like yoga poses and stretches from side to side. But I would like all of you to your first roll of the game, which is to test agility.
Oh god.
So you're going to roll 3d6, and then whatever your level is in that indicates which die you're going to remove, and you'll total the rest together.
Okay. This is gonna be wonderful.
Oh no.
Cha-Cha got an 8.
Okay.
Oh, I got an 11.
I also got an 8.
Okay.
I got a 3.
All right. So Assistee is going around and like kind of not really nodding, but sort of like giving their encouragement and showing their pleasure at what Cha-Cha, Alina, and Kat are doing. But then they get over to Mr. Graves, and their voice just says, "Your performance will be noted in your record." And then they move on.
Humans
Excuse me,
aren't meant to been
Assistee?
that way.
How much are we getting paid for this? Can you remind me of how much we're getting paid for this?
It's
'Cause
nothing.
I feel like it's not enough.
It's nothing.
It's not enough.
It's not enough. Zach, I imagine Zach's like too bulky to like be able to do yoga stretches really well. So like he just keeps like falling over.
Assistee's just
More
like,
or
if
less,
you
I
have-
imagine.
If you have an issue with your employment credit compensation, you can take it up with Navari, your supervisor.
I will do that.
Something company town, what?
I would like to get up and move 5 feet away from this group and continue my exercises.
Okay. You could certainly do that. But you will complete the rest of the physical exercises, and then Assistee said the image of the figure leading you through these disappears, and Assisti says, "Very good. Now we will move on to our second exercise, which is the mnemonic assessment. And we'll, without saying your name, we'll address each of you individually, but we'll start with you, Cha-Cha, and Assisti says, please state your name, what you were doing before this work placement was accepted, your favorite pastime, as well as why you are interested in joining the Obol Corporation."
My name is Lacey. You all will call me Cha-Cha.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't call me that. I enjoy my friends, and I enjoy... I'm here because I need to find something to do. That's it. Go on.
Okay, go ahead and test smarts for me.
Oh no! Hold on.
No.
Okay, that's a 10.
Bad?
Sisti gives a little, like a little ding of approval, like, you know, like a positive, like, you got it right. And then we'll move on to the next person in the line. And we'll come over to you, Alina. Say, please answer the same questions. Your name, what you were doing before this work placement, your favorite pastime, and why you're interested in joining the Obol Corporation.
Well, I am Alina, and I was a graphic design intern in New Johannesburg until recently. I enjoy art, and I'm not really sure what I'm doing here. Really sure.
Okay. Go ahead and test smarts.
Well,
Okay. Once again, Assisti gives a little ding of approval and probably turns a vague shade of green before floating on over to Cat.
I'm Catastrophe. You can call me Cat. I was an influencer before I made a few mistakes and lost the trust of my audience. I'm traveling to Tartarus for new opportunities, and the new audiences that I expect will be at the colony. And I enjoy technology and the benefits that it can give if used appropriately.
Go ahead and test smarts. Also, thank you very much for that donation, Cozy Sheep. We very much appreciate it.
thank you.
Cause
That would only be a 7, though.
Assisti still gives a little ding of approval, and this time morphs into a vague shape of a check mark before floating on over to Zach.
Zach Graves. Used to work with Vigil in the Hebridean Arcologies. I have interests. I'm here because I need a job.
Go ahead and test smarts.
That was
I'm tempted to just
amazing.
let you
Yes.
pass for like the
Fire
brutal
Dude
capitalist
is my favorite.
honesty.
I have interests.
I have interests.
I need a job. Oh god, I'm
I am
disappearing.
not a robot.
I have interest as a sticker, please.
All right, Jenna, let's get it added to the
All right, I'll get it added for the next stream. I have interest with like a pointer finger up.
That is a 10.
Okay. This, finally, with all of you answering correctly, Assisty gives 3 little, like, dings and then flies back into, like, towards the center of the group to face all of you. And they say, all right, our last part of the re-acclimatization process is the motivational assessment. I will ask each of you a question, which has a bit of a scenario that I would like you to answer. And Assisty will start with Cha-Cha and say, you're a soldier. You're fighting for control of a city. A member of your work group says they saw a friend of theirs injured in the street outside, but you know that friend died last week. What do you do?
I stand up and I wave off I wave it off, and I walk to the back of the room.
Okay. Just don't answer?
Yep, just wave off, walk to the back of the room.
Okay. Assisty will turn a vague shade of red before moving over to Alina. You're waiting in line for a vaccination jab. Someone pushes in front of you. When you reach the front of the line, you're told that there aren't any more vaccinations left. The person who pushed in hasn't been injected yet. What do you do?
Let them know that I was in line first, and that person button. Demand that I be given the last vaccine.
Okay, go ahead and test wits.
Oh, shit. Okay, well, 7.
Assisty once again gives a little ding and says, congratulations, that was the right answer and you have completed your process. And then they will float over to Kat. You're a child. An older, much more physically powerful child takes your bag and starts to go through it and shows your private things to their friends whilst laughing. What do you do?
I take note of the older child and their friends. And then when I'm in a position of more power, use it against them.
Okay, go ahead, test wits.
I love that all of Tessa's characters are slightly sociopathic.
It's great.
I love it. I'm here for it.
That's an 8.
Congratulations, you've completed your assessment. And we'll move over to Zach. You're a vigil agent. A known racist, despised in the community, is being beaten by 2 other people. You receive a contract to stop the attack and bring their attackers in for punishment. What do you do?
Contracts are optional. Don't have to take it. It's better work.
Test wits?
There's an 8.
Congratulations, you have completed your assessment. And Assisty will turn to all of you and say, Navari had you woken up to look into a diagnostic issue in the monitoring state. Please proceed. And then they blink out of existence. You're left in the break room.
We should ask for a raise.
Seems unlikely. But have at.
We could
Are we
probably
in the-
just try to get out of here. Like, land. We could, when we land somewhere, just get the fuck out.
I think that the place that we're going is owned by the company that sent us on this journey.
Yeah.
I don't think that we can escape anything too easily.
When you get out of the area, you just die.
What?
Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine.
I don't like that option. That doesn't seem like an option for me.
No, it's fine. Sorry.
But no
It's fine.
judgments.
Yeah. Yeah, so not break room, right?
No.
Okay. That's
Assisty said monitoring station above
Yep.
the table.
Yep.
Right.
Yes.
The diagnostic issue is in the monitoring station.
Which, if we're in the center of the break room, is immediately to our right.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't have it, there is a little map you can reference in the game books folder that has the layout of the entire ship. So if you go to the right, you'll get to the monitoring station. If you go to the top left, that'll get you to the meeting room, which you know is where you would contact Navari.
Alina just like doesn't say anything and heads to the monitoring station to find out what the problem is.
Graves also heads there.
That will kind of shrug and head out that way. Kind of looking for the annoying little glitch of a assisty.
You are
Because it's
haunted
kind
by
of
pixies in every game.
in every game.
Hey, in Masks, it's just a sprite.
Same thing.
It is the same thing.
Robots, same thing.
But all you can head into the monitoring station, and you see that there are banks of screens and monitoring equipment lining the walls. This is one of the largest areas in the crew quarters. Here, you would typically use the diagnostic equipment to identify problems and create solutions. But as you walk inside, there's this big sound of like everything powering down as the video feeds cut off, the equipment stops humming. One of the screens blinks a little bit before there's just a long string of incomprehensible code and error messages just like flying past, scrolling so fast you can barely read it. And these are some errors that you've never seen before in your work.
Well, I can barely read, so one of you probably should figure this out.
Well, shit.
All right. Alina just steps up and starts running some diagnostics. Or is there no power? Do we have to like look for wires?
There's a little bit of power. You have, as you're looking through, you're able to pull up the video feeds for level 1 of the ship, but you can't see anything below the ductways. So level 2 and level 3 are essentially cut off.
While Alina's looking at the screens, I'm going to go look around for anything that might be physically wrong with the station. Okay. Question, though. Mm-hmm. Is it just the monitors that have turned off, or is it like the lights, the power's out?
The lights and the power is out, too.
Okay.
There's like a lot of the data banks and other computer systems integrated with this room are basically on the fritz.
I'm gonna look for a space fuse box.
I'll follow
Sure.
Zach.
There's probably
maybe
like an internal control panel on the wall.
I'll follow Zach maybe like 2 feet, 3 feet behind him. Just kind of keeping an eye out, but just creeping.
Just
creeping.
straight up creeping.
Yeah, creeping. Just
Cha-chaing real
looking
smooth.
Masks.
looking around. No, just looking around. Like, if he's gonna be a smart boy, I'll be a tough girl, I guess.
I think you two are the model, but okay.
This is fine.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone here has a toughness higher than 2.
Wait, hold on.
Absolutely not.
Wait. I think I-
Nope.
Nope.
Fuck. Oh, yeah, no, fuck, I don't. I don't.
It's fine.
Well
Totally
done.
fine.
I'm agility as fuck though.
I think
That's true.
I think the scavenger has a higher toughness, but not if you picked that
Yeah.
one.
Listen, I am all that is woman, okay?
I just wanted to be useless, okay? That's all. That I don't think that's too much to ask.
Not really.
Jack of all trades. I've got a 2 for everything.
So Zach,
Yeah.
I've got your back, my guy.
Right. Thanks. Looking at the panel, what am I seeing?
It's basically a lot of power switches connected to the equipment, some like hard factory resets. You know, it connects to everything in this room.
Got some hard resets here. I admit I don't have much experience with spaceship tech. Don't know if any of you do.
Don't like it.
Yeah, the
That's reasonable.
orientation was not great.
Well, if you lick it, you like a battery. If you lick it, you might get like a shock or something.
I think the shock might be a little higher here. Let's save that as a last resort.
That's why I said not to do it.
If you lick it, you keep it.
That's how we did it back in the day.
Them's is the rules.
I don't know how.
Looking
I
things
don't
to
know
claim
how-
them as your own.
I don't know how you guys play, but back in the war, when you lick it, you keep it. But sometimes when you lick it, other things happen. So you've got to be careful.
Sound advice.
Why not both?
I like to give good advice sometimes,
For lack of
and then I give Zach a there on the shoulder, like good luck.
Internally, he's like, was there something wrong with the cryopod?
I mean, on some level, being in deep sleep for that long could cause brain damage.
Especially if the oxygen wasn't working properly.
So, you know.
All right. For lack of any better ideas, he's going to try some of the hard resets.
Okay.
When in doubt, turn it off and back on again.
Yes. You can do so, and the remaining monitors that had been left on shut down, you know, count 30, turn it back on, and there's an initial, like, oh, this is working when all the lights come on, all the monitors, maybe not, like, showing light immediately, but have that little bit of illumination based on, like, okay, the monitor is booting up. But before it can get too far into the process. Most of the communications and video feeds cut off again, and you're still left with everything on the first level.
You guys have any luck with those, anything coming up on the monitors? Because if not, we might have to trace this to the source.
So have I found anything in diagnostics?
I pretty much like the same errors that you've been getting. I will say that just naturally with messing with everything, you somehow managed to wire like the basketball AR video game feed into the computer. So it's just like playing out in front of you, and it's like press start to begin, but there's no start to press, so it's just like a looping intro video game screen.
I think we have to go to the server access and reset that.
What does that mean?
Find the source of the power. Hopefully source of the problem.
Alina just like coughs for a second and then yes, that. Great. So do you know how to
means we need to go deeper into the ship.
Yeah.
Gotta pass through the heat shield to the engine room. Because for some great reason, the rest of the ship is linked through the engine room, which requires a heat shield. This is great design.
Wait, the
I don't know
source
if
of
you
the power.
noticed.
Like
You'll have
such-
the source of the problem. That great.
None of us
4130.
are qualified
So
to
much
be
fucking
here.
sus. So much
Yeah.
fucking sus.
Oh my god.
Zach, you seem to know a lot about the problems happening on this ship and what's happening on this ship.
I don't know shit. The power's out. What do you do when the power's out?
I light a candle,
There's one way to deal with it.
or I fuck a girl.
I suppose that's another way to deal with it. What I'm saying is, how do you get the power back on?
You wait till it happens. It comes back on.
Other people turn it back on. In this case,
When
We're
you're
the other
6
people.
months away from any other civilization.
We're the other people here.
we're the people
We're
who
the
turn the
people.
power back on.
No, let's just go back to sleep and leave it to the two doofuses
Yeah.
who didn't wake up.
Did we check their pods to make sure they were still alive in said pods to begin with?
And, I'm really considering just getting back in the coffin.
That is an
It's-
option.
Until
Has the engine lost power yet?
No.
There's an engine?
Yes.
It actually is located in the engine room. I don't know if you knew that.
The average level of intelligence for this party. Keeps going down.
Hi, I'm the smart one.
Oh no!
I'd like to point out that two of you have 3s for smarts.
I do, yeah.
I do.
All right.
That said,
am
if
gonna
the
pull,
power's
like,
on
a
the fritz,
snack. I'm gonna pull a snack out of my bag.
the power's on the fritz, getting back in the cryo might be a bad idea.
Especially if
Oh, the oxygen
The-
might not.
auxiliary systems like oxygen go down.
Yeah.
Bingo.
If oxygen gets too cold, I heard it can freeze you.
I think that goes for most gaseous substances.
So could everything
When it-
outside of the
Alina just, like,
vehicle.
When
Alina
it turns
just
into
stares.
a liquid,
Stares at them for like
it turns into a liquid. and
like
that-
no blinking, just stares at Zach and Cha-Cha for like a minute. It's awkward. It's awkward the amount of time that she is staring at them.
I'll just reach over and
And then she just says, all right. And then she just turns around and starts walking towards the heat shield to the engine room.
Yeah,
Is that's gonna
is
follow.
following because she's under the impression that we need to fix this ASAP.
Yeah, probably.
She's a little concerned about oxygen systems going down.
Right.
Tiny bit.
As you are moving to the heat shield, do you want to take a moment to remind everyone in chat that we are giving away a space-themed D20? I just reposted the rules, so type the word #SpaceGaze, no quotation marks, into chat before, well, actually, in the next 30 minutes.
40 minutes.
40 minutes to try and win. And then we're also raising, as you can see by our lovely overlay, raising money for the Trevor Project, so you can either use the this link in chat to donate, or you can check out the donation panel in our About section. And some of your donations can affect the game if you decide to pick one of the incentives. Anyway, heat shield time. So, you
Sounds like a great choice.
make your
Impeccable
way.
design on this ship.
So many great decisions were made to get us to this place in life.
You make your way through the door from the monitoring station down the very short hallway to the door to the heat shield and pull that open. And the first thing that you notice here is a corpse. Many of the corpse's fingers are broken, and you can see several joints are dislocated into strange positions. This figure is lying in a crumpled heap on the floor, and you can see written in blood on the wall above them is the word justice, with 2 hooked spears also drawn next to it.
Where's that guy's space coffin?
Could be a stowaway. One with theatrics.
Wearing an Opal uniform.
I want to go and look for any identifying I would assume there'd be identifying like a badge or something.
Before Cha-Cha steps into the room, I just want to give a visual check to see if there's anything that like visually crushed this guy. Just in case there's some sort of, I don't know, door that slammed on him or something.
Go ahead and roll to test smarts.
Oh. Result. That's a 10.
Okay, you, even with a cursory glance and just the damage to this body, you can tell that this guy was killed by blood loss.
Okay.
Are this individual's nails jagged, like they were trying to claw at something, though?
There are... Yeah, there's definitely, like, some broken nails. Their nails are a little bit bloody, like they were trying to force their way through something.
I would like to prop the door out open so it can't just blatantly close on us.
I think we should go check the other coffins, because if this is an LP person, it's probably one of the other people in the coffins, and there's probably somebody else on this ship that killed them.
I'd agree with that. If we can get a body check in the employee quarters, then we have a better idea of what we're dealing with here.
Can you pay attention to the goddamn body for a second?
There's a body right
And
there.
I am now moving past them, and I'm going to look for any identifiable information on the body.
There is a, say, just like a little patch on the shoulder with a number designation, as well as the name Joseph Stevenson.
Was that one of our pod people, pod coffin mates?
You do not recognize this person, so no. You also know that when you were leaving the crew quarters, there were individuals in the other 2 pods.
Okay. All right.
They were still there, and they wouldn't have, because the only way out of that room would have been to go through the break room. You would have noticed them go through the break room, and then would have had to go through the monitoring station to get here.
Okay.
So there was no viable path for them to go from the crew quarters to here without you knowing.
Fair enough.
I'm going to rip his patch off of his shoulder.
Okay.
And his name patch off of him. And I'm going to stuff it into one of my cargo pockets.
Alina wants to examine the body to see if she can glean how he lost all the blood in his body. Like, is there a wound?
Just
what happened?
Looking over him, you can see that there are several lacerations, like across his arms, his face, his torso, where some of them pretty deep gouges where you would guess most of this blood loss originated from.
Jagged or straight?
Jagged.
Nasty work.
Examining for any other clues. Are there like nails in the wound or like
getting
fragments?
A closer look, you can see there are bits of glass sticking out of his skin.
I
Can I check it?
Cut him with broken glass. Or
Can
the
I check
broken
it?
glass.
Can I check any chest pockets? Oh yeah, if there's any chest pockets, I want to check those.
There aren't any chest pockets. It's very much a very minimalistic sort of jumpsuit. So not really. You would probably recognize it as something that would be used to sleep in for long-term travel, so not designed for long utility wear or having.
Does he
it's
have
not like a
anything
cargo
on?
jumpsuit, so.
Does he have anything on him that's like maybe doesn't look in uniform with everybody else?
You mean just like comparing to
Just like
you interns, or
does he
just like
have-
something that you would think is out of character?
Does he have a necklace, a bracelet, something on him that's not uniform?
He does not. The most unique thing on him was the shoulder patch.
Alina's looking around for broken glass anywhere in the engine room.
Yours currently in the heat shield.
Oh, well,
but if you would like to
is it-
do some more investigation, go ahead and test wits.
all right. So 6.
Okay. Yeah, you're not finding anything else in here. There's just a lot of blood, beaten
Does it
and
look like-
broken dead body.
Does it look like he crawled from somewhere? Like, where
Blood
the fuck
trail?
is the broken glass?
Oh.
There's no like blood trail. It's just like him be dead there. No other signs.
Most of he wasn't bleeding enough to leave a large trail. Most of it just pooled under him when he was kind of left in a bit of a heap.
Mhm.
You know, passed out from the blood loss, and then everything just seeps out of you.
All right.
Can't say for sure, but I think it should be a safe assumption that we're not alone here.
Unless, well, I guess. Would we have done a tour of the ship before we were put in our space coffins?
Yeah, and you have a map.
So we would have like looked at it before we were woken up. So either the 2 other guys, when they were awake, did it, or there's somebody else here.
I'm more concerned about the fact that we have a dead person here who is not supposed to be on the ship, from what they told us.
Okay. You know that some of what you're transporting is other Obel employees who are in cold storage.
Oh,
so there are.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yes, yeah. There are other individuals on board. They are just meant to be asleep throughout the entire journey.
Oh, is that cold
Somebody
storage?
else is awake.
Yes, yeah, that's
Yes.
cold storage.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got cold storage, which is the employees who are coming out here, and then the cargo hold, which is the actual goods.
Okay. I missed that part of the memo.
I think what we should do is we should bring him. We should bring him out and wrap him up and do something for him.
I think that's a great idea once we get the power back on and find out where the killer is.
How do you know? How do we know who the killer is? What the killer is?
What? Did you just say what the killer is?
That's what we gotta find out.
Yeah. I'm sorry, little like artist girl, but you've never been shot at. You've never. When people die, it can be something like gas. It can be something like bullets. It can be something like brutal. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry if your art has never had anything to do with that. But maybe you should open your eyes and figure it out.
All right. Well, he died from glass. I don't see any glass anywhere. Does anybody else see any glass anywhere?
It seems weird, right? So do you really think it was glass?
No, I think it was someone.
Yeah. So do you think it was glass? Seems sus, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Emergency meeting. You're the imposter.
Ejected. I agree we should do something for him, but I think it'll also be prudent to make sure the power's not going haywire.
Slightly southern.
I'm from the space south.
Yes.
Space Georgia. She's gonna be giving us biscuits and gravy.
I can't do accents to save my life, so you get what you get.
And you don't pitch a fit.
It's just like it just sound different every time you talk.
Yes. What's the real accent? No.
That's more my failing as a person playing an RPG than the character.
Also, Jenna, I love you, and I hope you didn't take that personally.
She's leaving the meeting, obviously.
Space monsters got her.
But I will say, now that you're sort of taking in the scene around you and can look at the room a little bit more, you do notice that there is a bit of gear in here. There are 2 very bulky environment suits. There's also a backpack-looking device with a scanner, as well as a bit of like a circular-ish electronic device. If you would like to take these things.
Well, firstly, before we grab the environment suits, we should make sure they weren't tampered with if we suspect there might be another individual on board.
I will kick it.
Question. Is it the kind of environmental suit that would be meant for, like, say, going into the engine room if there's a fire, or the kind that's meant for, like, a spacewalk?
It's
Fucking Zach is smart.
That's me asking.
more
I don't know
so
what Zach knows.
what you would use to protect yourself in the engine room. Above the table, it gives you 7 temporary health points.
Oh.
But it reduces your agility and wits by 1.
Oh,
Makes sense.
I'll leave that be.
The backpack device is a field scanner, which allows you to scan your surroundings for unusual or interesting phenomena, but it does count as 2 items So it would count against your maximum gear. And then the little electronic device is a remote meeting room. So if you place it down on any metal surface in the ship, you can set up a meeting link with Navari. So instead of having to be in the meeting room, you can talk to him wherever.
Oh, interesting.
All of this seems very a little bit too smart for me, and
Techno shit, I don't care.
I think maybe if y'all are a little bit more fancy, if maybe we find other shit in the ship that I could throw at somebody or hit somebody with, that would be a bit useful.
Keep an eye out.
Do you want Cat to take the remote meeting room?
Could you give us the rundown of yes, but could you give us the rundown of the objects again?
You have 2 bulky environment suits. So these reduce your agility and wits by 1, but provide 7 extra health.
Mm-hmm.
And you would subtract that health before your playbook pool of health. You have a field scanner, which is a backpack-sized device that allows you to scan your surroundings for unusual or interesting phenomena. It does count as 2 items, so that would count against your maximum gear that you can hold. Does require a bit of time to use and a successful smarts test. And then the last item is a remote meeting room, which when placed down on any metal surface, you can use it to extend the actual physical meeting room's location to establish a communication call with Navari, who is your supervisor.
Okay.
And that has
above the
2
table.
uses. That can be used twice.
Okay. Above the table, somebody who has smarts of 3 should probably take the field scanner.
I have smarts of 3. I don't know what Jenna's smarts are.
Also 3.
Also 3.
My smart's 2.
Mine's also 2.
Yeah, I'm not taking shit.
I can take it if Kat doesn't want to, but
I mean,
it can be thrown down if you don't want.
yeah, that's true. We can toss it down or shuffle stuff later too. Cat will take it for now.
Okay. So you said you're taking the field scanner?
Yeah, I'll take the field scanner.
Okay, so mark 2 gear slots.
Okay.
Is anyone taking anything else? There's 2 bulky environment suits and then the remote meeting room.
we should take the environment or the bulky suits just in case.
You'll have to wear them.
Then put it on.
Yeah. If you're taking...
You're volunteering.
Sure.
Okay. So go ahead and mark that you have an environment suit. Your agility and wits are reduced by 1.
Good.
But you have...
Never mind. I don't think I can take it then. Because I only have 1 agility.
Never mind. If you don't want them, you don't have to take them. I'm just saying there is gear here if you want it.
And I feel like you're also saying, like, I'm offering this to you for a fucking reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's in the book.
All right, so the suits were -1 agility, -1 wits.
Yes. And gives you 7 extra health. You have to deplete that health first.
What if we and I'll pick them up. We could put them somewhere so we could find them later.
Sure.
And then we don't. If there is some spooky person running around,
Scooby-Doo villain.
then yeah, and they won't get them.
Do we have space weapons?
Not
I
unless
have-
there's anything in your inventory.
I have something. But I would like to look around for a space to hide these suits in. Unless somebody wants one.
There's no additional space in the heat shield, but you could go back into
Maybe just
like
hide it in the engine
break
room.
or
Yeah.
Because
The
the
crew
engine room
quarters.
is like the.
or you could take it with you into the engine room.
I was gonna say that.
No, I think I'll go back. Where are we at?
You are in the heat shield.
Yeah, I'll go back to the monitoring station.
Okay.
It looks like right to the right there might be a little desk.
Yeah, a little table. I'm just gonna tuck it up under there.
Yeah, like I'll just like stuff it up. If do you think there might be a chair? Like I wouldn't have to stuff it under the desk. I could sit it on a chair. Like the seat of a chair stuffed under the desk.
Considering it's a spaceship, the chairs are probably bolted down
Floating.
so they don't move.
Okay. I will. Look
Alina will
for
just reach over and open a panel that has like an empty space in it. Just.
Okay,
Go.
okay, fancy pants, and then I'll stuff them in there. Tell
Wear the
everybody.
same pants.
Well, tell everybody where they're at, so just in case any of us, like, if you or I die, they will be able to get them too.
Should we not wake up the two other people?
No, fuck them.
All right.
Screw those guys. They left us to deal with this on our own. How
Screw
dare.
Josh and Brad. I don't fucking like them anyways.
Oh my god.
Okay, so we come back and I'm like, hey, we just stuffed those two things under this panel. So if anything were to happen to us, you guys go back there and it's right here, okay?
Okay.
It's right. No, but it's right here. Do you understand where they're at?
Is this a description that helps me understand where they are?
Yeah.
I am specifically describing to Kat and Zach where they're at.
Oh,
Yes.
all right. Yes.
Okay. All right. Stop looking at me. Go away.
Okay. Are you going to
Engine room.
proceed into the engine room?
Yep.
Yay.
Alrighty. You head in here and are immediately overwhelmed by the roar of the engines. The thick is the smell of fuel in the air. It is honestly a brutally stinky odor. You can see that there are several tanks and towers above you which contain the stuff. And even despite the reinforcements and shielding in this room, it's hotter than anywhere else on board. It's also quite dark. The only illumination you have is from red emergency lighting, which does very little to illuminate the maze of machinery. As you step inside, the door to the heat shield shuts behind you, and you can briefly catch a glimpse of obvious signs of attempted force to break through it, but the pulsing lights and engines overwhelm your senses to the point that you're starting to feel the briefest shadow of the taste of blood in your mouth, and you feel a ringing in your ears before you see visions of a banner, red, showing a hooked spear. There's behind it the streak of retro thrusters in the atmosphere. There's the sound of gunfire, very sharp, static, and clear, which echoes across a cityscape around you. Dwyer, the hero. Dwyer, our leader. Dwyer, the insurrectionist. And then, almost immediately, you snap back to yourselves and can feel this wetness dripping down your face, and putting a hand up and pulling it away, you can see the sheen of blood in addition to the roar of the engines, becoming ever clearer is a loud clanging of metal on metal that is reverberating throughout the engine room before you see a figure moving around the center console. I would like all of you to test wits.
That's a 9.
10 for me.
8.
Okay.
11.
Okay. You all managed to steel yourself and maintain your resolve in the face of this potential threat.
I think Lisi's would be lower. I don't think she'd be able to handle that.
Do you want to? Do you want to take an automatic failure?
Yep.
Okay, you lose 1 resolve.
Okay.
And you see stepping around this center console is a man with long, scraggly black hair, bright, shimmering red eyes. You can see that his throat is slit, and there's the remnants of dried blood that are sticking to his throat and the top of his suit. He carries a long, hooked spear in his hand. What do you do? He's beating it against the center console.
You said his throat is slit?
Yeah. It's not actively gushing blood, but it was slit at one point.
Not so.
How close am I to him?
You're probably far away. You're just separated by a little bit of a walkway, so you could probably get there in, like, if you run for it, you could get up in his space and be able to attack him if you would like.
Yeah. No, this... I would like to find a place to hide, and I'm gonna pull out the auto pistol.
Well, then.
Say you can... There's nowhere you can get, like, full cover, but you could probably duck into the inlet where the door is to the heat shield and just, like, press yourself against one side of it.
Yeah, I'll do that, and I will wait and see what happens.
What do the rest of you do?
Is there anything useful nearby? Like a bludgeoning instrument or projectile or something I could throw?
Go ahead and roll and test wits.
Sure. Seven.
Okay, you find a heavy pipe that you can use, and make a note that when you attack with this pipe, you lower your toughness by 1, but it does add an extra 2 damage. And you get 4 successful uses before it breaks.
Okay. And then your toughness goes back up, or is it just permanently?
It goes back up. It's just when you're using the pipe.
Oh, got it.
Because it's a heavy object, so it's tiring to use and hard to maneuver and swing.
Great. I'm gonna, I guess, peek back around the doorway because fuck that.
Are you just moving into the little inlet that Cha-Cha's in?
Yeah.
Okay.
She seems like she knows what she's doing.
There's not much cover. I'd say probably with the 2 of you that about fills it up. There's not really room for the rest of you, but what is
Can I like as she goes in, I'm gonna fucking grab her and like just push her ass behind me.
Sure.
And like push her in and down and just be like, stay fucking down.
She's gonna hand Zach the pipe though. Like it just like sticking out from the thing, like in case he wants to use it.
The pipe over to Zach.
I can't use it from behind Cha-Cha.
Oh boy.
What is Zach and Cat doing?
Might be a job for those Evo suits.
Yeah. Behind the door that is now
Is there a way
potentially
to
locked.
reopen the door?
Not currently.
Okay.
It's usually on like a sensor mechanism, but even with Cha-Cha and Alina getting in there, you can tell that the door did not open.
Okay.
And there were
I'm-
scrape marks, so I would assume it's
They probably came from the...
this guy.
All right.
Can I analyze the room and see if there's any environmental hazards we can use to our advantage?
Go ahead and test. Let me... Go ahead and test wits.
That's a 9.
You notice that off to, from where you're facing, it is the far left wall.
Mm-hmm.
There is a broken panel on the side that seems to be leaking smoke and steam. So.
Can you give me the stats on that pipe again? When you have a moment?
+2 to damage, but it -1 on your.
When you attack, lower your
toughness.
toughness by 1. Add an extra 2 damage, and you get 4 successful uses before it breaks.
Thank you.
Well, Zach is still near me.
Yep.
And I will point out the panel and say if that could potentially be used to our advantage if we can push him up against it. It's going to be hot. It's going to be disabling.
Not sure how much disabling it takes to bring this guy down. Sort of mimes to the throat.
Sure.
As you're talking, this figure continues to bang the hook spear like a staff and begins to walk towards you.
Okay. Well, fuck
Do
it.
I see that
Oh.
Cha-Cha has a weapon out? A ranged weapon? Because if so, I'm going to make sure I'm not in Cha-Cha's line of sight with this thing.
I'd say probably not yet, because she did move behind you, and you were focused on finding environmental hazards. So,
How close is the thing to me now?
still far from you because you moved back a bit, but it's getting in near range to Zach and Kat. So, what are you gonna do?
Is there anything around me to throw, maybe?
Not in the little inlet that you're in.
All right. Sorry, friends.
All right, so since I don't think I know Cha-Cha has a weapon and Cha-Cha's hiding with it, and this guy's getting closer, we're gonna take a swing at him with the pipe.
Okay, let's go ahead and have everyone roll for conflict. So you're all going to test wits, and basically highest goes first, lowest goes last.
Oh no. 8.
Got a 9.
It's a
11
10
for
wit.
me.
Okay. Don't mind me. Okay. Haven't had to take down initiative in a while. Okay, Alina, you're up first.
Okay, well, I feel like I'm pretty useless right now.
You are able to, hang on, let me see. So, you know what you can do.
Assess the door and see how I can get it back open.
Okay, so you can take, on your turn, you can take up to 2 actions, which includes moving, attacking, using gear, or using gear, basically, which may or may not need a die roll. So.
I don't have any useful gear. Like, and can I assess the situation with the door? I don't know how to play this game.
This isn't math.
The math.
I mean, I'll say
situation.
that just with your base knowledge, you know that someone was trying to break through the door to get into the heat shield, and from your knowledge of the situation, Assisty most likely sealed the door. Possibly temporarily, possibly permanently. It's unclear.
Assisty, open the goddamn door.
There's no response.
Goddamn robot. Surrey, we like you better than Assisty. All right. So let's, I guess. I don't know. Would I have anything on me that I could like throw at the dude, or like, can I try to?
If you don't have any gear, unlikely. You could throw your music player.
I'm not fucking throwing the music player, okay? An iPod is not a ranged weapon.
It's a blunt object.
It is not. It's like this big. I don't even know. Like, I feel like there's not a whole lot I can do in this situation.
If you don't feel like you have anything to do, you can just skip your turn and we can.
Yes, please.
Okay. Next up is Kat.
Kat wants some distance between her and this thing. So I think she's gonna try and move to the opposites. Well, not the opposite side of the room, but there is like this big engine like thing in the room, right?
You are currently currently pressed up against the, if you see the door that leads to the
now I'm
heat
looking
shield,
at it.
You're on that little balcony and he is in the middle of this walkway, so you would have to move past him to get any sort of additional cover.
Okay.
If you want to, you could like straight up punch him and like run past. That's an option. Fists are an option.
How is that walkway connected?
What do you mean?
Like, it looks like it's a floating walkway. Is it like a segmented type walkway? Like, could I potentially attack a joint there and try and buy us some space? Or
Cat, you sexy son of a bitch.
It looks pretty solid. You could try. There seems to be a seam at the edge if you want to try and do something.
I think Kat's gonna try and go after that seam and try and get us a little space from this thing.
Go ahead and test toughness.
Oh god, this is gonna suck. That is a 5.
You're banging on this thing, but it is not giving way. Just the sound of metal ringing is almost in time with the spear that this person is banging against the walkway as he approaches. So I'll say that's one action if you would like to do something else.
Honestly, I think should I move back or should I try and bang at this one more time and see if I can loosen it at all? I think Kat's gonna try and loosen it one more time.
Okay.
I know she's not great at it, but if she can even weaken it, it would be beneficial to the group. But that's a 4, so no.
Yeah, no.
Now my dice are betraying me. It's fine.
Okay. Next up is Zach.
Seeing what Kat is trying to do, he's going to give an attempt at busting that seam down and dropping this guy.
Okay.
Toughness?
Yep.
It is a 9.
You feel like you might be having a bit more of an effect, but the structure itself is still pretty solid.
Well, this guy's probably gonna be here shortly, so let's take a swing at him with a pipe.
Okay, go ahead and roll. I gotta remind myself how combat works. Basically doing close quarters fighting. So roll toughness.
That's -1 for the pipe.
Yes. And then I also roll toughness.
Ugh. Honestly, that would have probably been better without the pipe, since this is a 5.
Okay, I did roll a higher toughness, so I'll say you come and swing the pipe, and he throws up a hand and grabs it and smacks you basically upside the head with his spear. So you take 3 damage.
Oof.
All right.
And that was your 2 actions, so that is your turn. Next up is Cha-Cha.
All right, I see this happening. Why are these motherfuckers acting so dumb? I'm gonna run up and pistol whip the guy. Instead of like shooting him, I'm gonna just right in the side of the head.
Okay.
With the pistol in my hand.
Go ahead and test toughness.
Take again. Toughness. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Move the middle one. That's a 5.
I won the toughness roll. And you come up and try and pistol whip him, and he just sees you coming and uses the spear to hook the side of your pistol, and then takes his grip on the pipe and smacks you on the side of the head, and you take 4 damage.
Okay. There's a second.
You moved and you attacked, so that would have been your 2 actions.
Fuck. Okay. Okay.
But it is now.
Can I take my turn now?
You
Or
can.
was it a hold?
It was not a hold. You can
Okay.
after I get done. So now it is your attacker, and he is going to, like, 1-2 for each of you. So first we'll go against Zach. So go ahead and roll for toughness as he brings up his spear to knock you aside the head again.
All right. That is a 7 for me.
You take 2 damage.
Rip. We're all gonna be dead before this gets
Oh my
anywhere.
god.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we're.
And then the other one is going for Cha-Cha.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and roll for toughness. Okay,
Yeah.
this time I rolled bad.
That was a 6.
Okay. I rolled a 4, so he takes 2 damage. And how would you like to counter this attack where he is trying to slug you in the gut with the butt of his spear?
I would like to grab his spear and just like, pop, like pop him right back, like maybe right in the groin.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna say, "Suck my nuts."
All right. Okay, that is his turn.
And I'm gonna give him this.
Yes.
You hear a rattling sound of metal as behind you on the main balcony that lines against the door, 2 individuals scale the side of this wall and hop onto opposite sides of the balcony.
Fuck.
Okay.
One of them is going to go for Alina. So go ahead and test toughness.
Seven.
I got a 3. So,
Nice.
I dodge.
what? Yeah, like it just
Disengage.
this very.
Disengage.
So I'll say this. This individual is wearing a similar suit.
I tuck and roll.
This individual is wearing a similar suit to the dead body you found in the heat shield. But they also have blood streaming from their eyes, nose, and mouth, just like actively bleeding. They probably come and just very like awkwardly are stumbling towards you and try and like swing a fist. So how, like, other than just ducking and rolling, how do you imagine you counter this?
So my character actually has a mechanical leg.
Just
according
sweep
to the
out their
art.
legs from underneath them.
So I sweep their legs out.
Okay, they like fall on their back and just the impact is enough to jar them a little bit. So they're not prone. This other individual on the opposite side of the balcony is going to come for Cat.
Yeah.
So please test toughness for me.
Yeah, that's a 4, so.
I rolled a 5, so you only take 1 damage.
Okay.
As they come and knock you upside the head. But that brings us back to the top of the round. Jenna, do you want to go ahead and do the giveaway draw?
Yes. I just wanted to wait until you like. All right, so.
So we just take a momentary reprieve from combat.
Is there a backup plan if we all get wiped out in the first
Yeah.
fight?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We play as space zombies.
New characters.
Now we're the space zombies.
Yeah.
There were at least 2 more people in the
Does it need to
coffins.
be a lowercase g?
Well, maybe.
Or, you know, if you all die here, we could just be like,
Maria's here. Tell me how to fix it.
fine. She can't hear because she's so. We could just find something else
Maria!
to play for the next 2 weeks. Anyway. Wow. Oh wait,
I
did
don't
it never?
know.
It never said it was closed.
I did do.
You
that
did, but
giveaway
it
close.
usually
You said close, not closed. With it.
Moobot will say.
No, it is closed. That's what it's
Okay.
supposed to say.
Moobot would usually say it's closed, and it didn't. So I'm wondering if it's. I don't know. While you figure that out,
I'm gonna go on Moobot and fix it.
do you have an idea of what you would like to do on your turn?
Yeah, I'd like to use my mechanical leg to stomp this guy's face in.
Okay, that's toughness. I got all my good rolls out of the way.
Yeah.
I'm fucked now.
Good. So 8 for me.
I rolled a 3. So you just
Take 5 face damage.
you just smash this guy's skull in. Your mechanical foot just goes into a
And now
goopy,
I'm
brainy
infinitely
mess.
hotter than I was like a minute ago.
You have a little bit of like blood splatter on you, but it's like shimmery, so you're just like, ugh, yes.
Wait, do we have glitter blood now?
Yes.
Apparently.
Fae, zombies,
That-
same thing.
It's fine.
That is a 20 out of 10.
You do have one more action, but I'd say probably to get in, like within melee combat of another individual, you'd have to use your second action to move. So if you had something to throw, or if you wanted to look for another weapon.
Can I? This is a stretch, right? Can I run up on one of the guys, and then I'd like to garrote him with my iPod headphones.
You can, because you have one action left, you can get close to him, but you wouldn't be able to attack the same. So
I do not want to be close.
If you want
for
to
them to
save
go,
that
so
until
I
your
would
next
like
turn.
to run up to this. I don't know, the seam thing, or like behind something, so that I can like pop out
Yeah,
and
you
like
can fall back
garrote
into
somebody.
the little alcove that you were in originally.
That I just got attacked in.
Yeah, it's not perfectly cut off,
It
but you know,
safe anymore.
Well, currently all of the other enemies are engaged with other interns, so
No, apparently they're coming from the ceiling.
okay. But you can duck back in there and just hide.
I will just find something to duck behind. It doesn't
Okay.
matter.
Kat, it is your turn. You have another one of these
There's a
blue
guy,
uniformed individuals right up on you who just punched you.
Can I flip him off the walkway
Sure.
and let
You
gravity do my damage for me?
can certainly try. Say this, it will be another test toughness.
This is not gonna be great.
You
That's
say-
a 9 though.
I rolled a 5. So how, I'm assuming you would like this to look incredibly graceful.
I don't know if it's more about graceful or if it's just I want this guy off me and I'm lower than him, so I'm going to use that to my advantage to put him off balance.
Okay. You do so and watch him as he falls over the edge of this walkway. One of his legs gets underneath him and definitely breaks. Probably some of the bone is probably sticking out. But
Hopefully that
only lets out more a scream of rage rather than pain, and begins to get back up on the one good leg he has left. So you have one other action. I'd say you're probably still up next to Zach, so you have the spear guy also within range if you would like to try something else. Or if you would like to back up, that is also.
Can I try and get Spear Guy's sphere?
Sure. Right. That'll be another toughness check.
I'm willing to take it. But that is a 3, so no.
I rolled a 9.
Yeah. So
And that wasn't a direct attack, so well, you. I'll say you don't take any damage on that one. I'll be generous.
Thank you.
Our benevolent overlord.
Okay, that is Kat's turn. Zach.
Okay, this pipe isn't doing it. So we are going to attempt to... Is it possible to attempt to disarm and injure in disarming the dude that has a spear?
Sure. I will say in doing so that will take both of your actions. So it'll be one roll, but if it is successful, you can have the spear and do damage.
Okay, I didn't have another idea for what to do with my second action, so that actually works for me.
Oh.
Toughness?
Yes.
It's an 8.
I also rolled an 8.
Something in the guidebook, the character trying to affect change wins over the one who's trying to stay the same.
Let me see. I thought there was something. Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah, because it's only special if it's 2 protagonists. So, you disarm him, but you do not cause any damage.
Yeah, I'll take it.
So you currently have a spear.
Are there any stats on that?
I think so. Let me check. It deals 1 extra damage in combat, and you can throw it like a ranged weapon.
Oh,
Like a spear.
I like it. Does it have a uses limit?
It does not.
Oh, good to know. All right. And that's all from me since that took both of my things.
Cha-Cha, you are next.
Who's around me?
You are up with Zach and Kat up against the man who formerly had a spear.
I think what I'll do is I'll run up to him and just like...
You're already within melee range.
Okay, great. What I'm gonna do is like try to use the butt of my weapon and like hold on to it and like shove it up so fast into like his neck to try to just like break it.
Okay, go ahead and roll toughness.
Okay. What is that? Oh, these are so funny. Okay, toughness. So we take out move the middle. Okay, but they were okay. So okay, let's do a 12.
Okay.
All right, 7. So you take your pistol and shove this guy's neck back, and you hear a break. And this figure stumbles backwards a couple of steps before stopping and taking a hand to the back of his head and just riding his head.
I have one more action.
You do. You could attack again.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I've already got the pistol very close to his face, so what I will do
Headshot?
is I will hold it out and headshot. Yep.
Okay.
Point blank.
Is there any special... Let's see.
Fires controlled bursts of low velocity rounds. Rounds won't puncture the hull of the ship.
Okay.
It is illegally held.
Yes, it is. I think Zach would probably recognize this as an illegal weapon.
Doesn't care right now.
Do we really care?
Because it's a gun, we will go ahead, even though you're not technically long-range fighting, we'll go ahead and test agility. Since it is, like, a dexterous weapon.
Right, but, like...
Oh, no.
But, I was right up in his face, though, right?
Isn't your agility better than your toughness, though?
Yeah, but it's removed the lowest result, but they were all ones.
Oh,
God. Okay.
So, total is 2.
I rolled a 6. So you... I'll say you do fire your gun. The bullet lodges in his head, but he doesn't flinch. And instead grabs the pistol out of your hand and pistol whips you instead. So you take 4 damage.
Okay.
No.
And that is it for your turn. Do you still have health left?
I'm alive.
Okay. Next up is the former spear guy. Now with a pistol in his hand. So, ain't that fun?
I can't go now.
Is going to of angry at Zach for taking his spear, so he's gonna shoot Zach.
Oh boy.
I need you to test agility.
Okay. Don't know why I'm looking at my stats. Everything's a 2. That's a 7.
I also got a 7.
It's a misfire.
So it probably like clips your shoulder, but doesn't do any. It's a surface wound. It's a flesh wound. You're fine.
Just a flesh wound.
Shake it off, shake it off.
And gonna fire again. Why not? Go ahead and test agility.
Okay.
This is fine.
Everything is fine.
That's a 12.
I rolled a 5. So
I got all 6s.
misses you, but since it is long range, there's no reasonable way for you to inflict damage back at this point. But
fair.
used up
I catch the bullet.
Yeah, you kick the bullet
the
back.
matrix.
With your teeth, and then you spit it back at him. Just thematically.
Oh my god.
That is no spearman's turn. And now it is the person's turn who fell from the balcony. And they're going to use their movement to climb back up onto the balcony. And
I guess
is
that's doable.
very displeased with being knocked off, so is going to try and punch Cat. So please roll for toughness.
Oh man, that moves fast. Shit. Ooh, that's a 7.
I rolled a 3. So how would you counteract this punch?
Leg sweep. I'm still on the ground for the most part.
There's just one working leg. You sweep the leg, they stumble backwards and fall over the balcony once again, this time landing on their head with a sickening crack, and then they stop moving.
God.
Back to the top of the round.
I mean, take out both legs.
Yeah.
Go for the knees.
You just land on both legs, and then the knees are just up in the chest.
God.
Just upright with the knees in the chest. Brings us to the top of the round. Alina, there is one person left who is currently engaged with, directly with Cha-Cha, and is pointing again at Zach. So you could use one action to move over there and one action to attack if you would like.
I would like to garrote him with my iPod.
Okay, go ahead.
This is the best possible use of an iPod. I just want to say.
Go ahead and roll for toughness.
7. Oh, sorry, 8. That's a 6. I'm rolling a weird die.
You rolled an 8. I rolled a 5. So this headphone wire just slips so easily into where his throat was slit.
God.
Knocks the head back yet again, but
Yeah, I just use that metal leg for leverage, you know?
And I had already fucked up his neck one time. So.
the head is just thrown back once again, but he's still moving.
God.
So that is
Gross.
that's your turn, which brings us to Cat.
I guess Cat is just gonna try and sweep this guy's leg, I guess.
Okay, roll for toughness.
That would be a 5.
I rolled a 7, so I think you move to try and sweep the leg, and he just stomps on your ankle, and you take 2 damage.
Yep.
That is one attack. You have another attack, if you'd like.
I think Cat is gonna try and move back up a little bit.
Okay, you can move back with your second action.
Yeah.
That brings us to Zach.
Okay.
You have a flesh wound and miss getting shot by the second bullet. And you have the spear.
I'd like. Can I attempt to disarm this man?
Just disarm him? Are you
If I just disarm him, can I take an attack after?
Yeah, it'd be, I mean, similar to what we did before. Disarm him is one action, attack is the second action, but you can use the attack and the disarm, so it'd be one roll.
It's more, I want to see if I can disarm him, and if I can't, I want to stab him with a spear.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for toughness.
Only 6.
I got a 7, so easily avoids your movements with the spear.
All right. So, can I still attempt to attack him then?
Yeah,
Or...
that was one action.
Okay. Stabby, stab, stab. That's an 8.
I got a 7, so you do 1 point of damage.
Wait, so the base damage is 0?
It's the difference.
Oh, because the spear is +1.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So you did 2 damage. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Right. He's still up.
Yeah.
No.
Cha-Cha. It is your turn.
So he shot my gun after he got it?
Yes. He shot it twice, so it's used 3 bullets.
No, because I used 1.
Yep.
That means there are only 2 left.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, okay. Is he looking at least a little hurt, maybe?
Yes. His
Okay,
head is currently backwards.
Okay, great. Love that for me. What I would like to do is just like what I would like to do, if I can, for one action, back up halfway and then run at him. And then fucking jump on him. And just like push my fingers into his fucking eye, like my thumbs into his eyeball. Like I want him on the floor, but I want to push my fingers into his eyeballs.
Okay.
Really far.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for toughness.
Okay. Oh, that's so good. Okay. That's 10.
Okay. You knock him backward and push your fingers into his eyes. He's now blind. I'll say that, strangely enough, as you would expect, like, normal blood to come out, but it's kind of grossly congealed. But he is still struggling underneath you, so you have 1 more attack.
My thumbs are already in his eyeballs, so what I would like to do is take the rest of my fingers and just push them down into the brain.
Okay.
And while I'm doing that, I'm going to say, your family will find pieces of you for the rest of my life.
Roll for toughness.
Okay, could have been better, but we're all right at a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Wait, no, we take up the middle one, not the bottom one. Okay. That's gonna be 9.
I rolled an 8. And he had 1 health left.
God, your mother will weep.
There's just this sickening squish as blood and brain bubbles up around your fingers.
Lovely.
I'll stand back up and kind of just. Can I get my gun back?
Yep. It's just lying next to him.
Oh, I'll pick it up and put it back and take his body over the side of the thing.
There's another sickening crunch.
Mm.
So this is about where chapter 1 wraps up.
Can we loot the bodies?
So
No, that's pretty
Besides-
good.
I would like to loot the bodies.
besides the spear that Zach has, there is nothing of note on the other bodies.
I want one of their femurs to sharpen into a spear.
I will.
No, I'm just
I mean,
kidding.
I will walk over and hand her one of the eyeballs.
Thanks, but no thanks. I appreciate the gesture.
I'll put it back in my pocket.
Oh.
And unless one of you, do one of you want them?
I'm gonna stomp
No,
all the
no.
skulls just to be with my metal leg, just to be extra sure that they're dead.
I think I really got that guy.
Can I, before
Yeah.
we continue on, can I record the utter, like, this, like, because I have the, Mnemosyne data vault, which allows me to record the stimulus of an area, and I'm gonna record the scent and sound and just the utter confusion that this is, because we were overpowered by it at first.
Okay.
And store that for later use.
Sure. You can do that. I do have a question, because again, wrapping up the chapter, is there any preparation that you would do before heading into, like, deeper into the ship?
Without time pressure, I want to double check for any ways to get the door open, or if it's just fully sealed.
Same.
The door back into the heat shield does not seem to be opening, even with messing with the control panel and the extra passcodes and using every little bit of information you have in your little human brain. Seems like it's
Sifty, open the fucking
sealed up.
door. Otherwise, Zach is going to show you what his interests are.
Those
Violence.
two robots fucking?
Or that. Should probably get a move on.
Do we have anything
I
that we
wanna-
can use to bind wounds and stuff before we move
That's a
on,
good
though,
point.
too?
Yeah, I might need to take a little bit of a rest and seal up some wounds, maybe.
Yeah.
I'll say you can, between chapters, take a little bit of a rest, and I don't believe anyone marked off any drives, so you wouldn't reset those. And
What about protecting
What-
vulnerable people?
Yeah, what about Defiance?
well, you would have had to. Well, hang on.
Call it before it happens?
Let me
Well, I don't even know
check.
how to play this game. Or capable. I
Yeah, you
suppose
would've-
I should.
You would have had to told me you were doing something in pursuit of a drive ahead of time.
Oh,
Because drives are how you regain resolve, but no one lost resolve, so
Ah.
that wouldn't have helped you in this chapter, which is
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
As far as you can take some time to bind up your wounds and rest.
Is there any like pieces of the clothing on these dead guys that isn't bloody?
even if it is bloody,
I mean,
can I just
some-
put
No,
it
no,
on?
no.
Sure.
It could be infectious.
But there's a steamy, or there's something with steam we could use to potentially partially clean something.
Ooh.
Yeah, we should clean out the wounds with the steam and then clean. Yeah.
See, I thought you were just
Hey,
one of those internet fancy girls, but you're actually kind of smart.
She pulls up her pant leg and shows that she's missing a leg.
Well, I was talking to Kat, actually.
Oh.
You can.
wouldn't recommend putting a wound directly in the steam. Might make it
Yeah.
worse.
No, that'll.
It's that area
Cauterize
is
No, I'm just
very,
kidding.
very hot. Like it will
There
probably
will be
do more harm.
flesh
If it
and
is hot enough, you
slopping
could
off them.
cauterize.
We could take a belt though, and if it's bleeding really bad.
Yeah, but you might
If we
want to.
need,
wrap
and we
it.
do have the pipe if we need to cauterize something, that we heat the pipe and then cauterize versus putting.
Like a whole leg or, yeah.
Yeah.
But you can take some time, clean yourselves up, and do some maintenance. And I will say that you can regain up to half your health if you were below it.
What if we were
So
not
up to half of
below
what
it?
we're missing, or
No, just half of your total.
You can get to half of your total, like when a
Yes.
life cleric does the thing.
oh, okay. So if you're above half, no,
No change.
Yeah.
works for me.
Sorry, were you not even below half health?
No.
I was
On
also
the
not.
verge of dying the way you were acting.
Well, because I'm used to having like,
A
A
bunch of
bajillion hit points.
yeah.
Veterans got 20, I think.
I'm a barbarian. No, I was at 20. But like I'm used to playing barbarian, so it's like I can hit point like all day.
If Charlie had not been nice to me, I would have been very low.
Like-
Okay, I have one last question, just reflecting, like your characters reflecting on everything they've experienced so far in chapter 1. If any have any of your characters' outlooks on the world changed? Because if so, you could change some of your drives, you could add to your drives, you could replace them.
I think that Zach has gotten a bit more cynical. He was already not pleased with the Obel Corporation for getting screwed over with the Vigil thing, and this is not helping that. He already has the drive for Suspicious, so learn about the Obel Corporation, but I think that's more with an eye towards learning about what they did here to make this go wrong.
Okay.
Or to allow it to go wrong.
Okay. So, learn about the Obel's Corporation with Charon? Like what they're doing here with Tartarus?
Yeah, that kind of thing. Learn about the Obel Corporation. Derogatory.
Okay. Fair. So less of a like specific change and more of like, those bastards.
Flavor text.
Okay.
Flavor tags, same.
Yeah.
I think
My
I'm
reflection
definitely
is just-
getting less trustworthy of the tech that I've utilized all of my life because we just got locked in here by an AI that I'm not exactly enthralled with.
I would like to strangle the AI. Is that an option for us?
That is totally something that I'm
Listen,
feeling right now.
if y'all need eyeballs, I at least have 4 now. Mine, but also 2 extra.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should also maybe investigate what was animating these things. Because, like, they were very
Yeah.
obviously dead. I do have this supernatural thing that is supposed to help with that. If we want to use it, the backpack.
That's a problem for next
yeah.
week. So
True.
Maybe if we could find, if anybody could keep an eye out for some bullets or something.
Yeah.
Since the dead guy decided to use 2 of mine.
I love limited use gear. It's great. But thank you everyone for joining us this evening. Hope you enjoyed whatever chaos this was. We'll be back here.
Thank you, Charlie.
Yeah.
We'll be back on Sunday for more Masks, Jukebox Justice, and then Chapter 2 of Tartarus Gate will be next Monday. What do we think about doing a raid? 2 nights in a row, 2 raids in a row.
Let me see who we can raid.
Let the horror continue.
Yeah, let's go to... we could raid Tales from the Table Studios.
Okay, Tales from the Table Studios. I mean, tabletop RPGs. Okay. Start that raid. Should be ready to go in a couple seconds. And then, yes. Join us back here on Sunday. Have a good day, week, whatever. And a very merry bye-bye.
Merry bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. There we go.
Hey, this might come out as total